Hello friend, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Cotton and this is Cotton's Creations 42, and today we're going to make this awesome checkerboard beanie. It was inspired by the show Wednesday on Netflix, and I cannot wait for season 2. There was so much great knitwear in the first season. It's going to be wonderful. But in the meantime, while we wait, let's make this together. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so here we have 2 examples of finished beanies. Look at how cute these are. I love them. Oh, they're great. One thing with these is I do think that they need to be blocked after you're done, because I'll show you at the end what it looks like when it's unblocked, and then I will show you how I block my acrylic hats. But it's a little bit more bunched up, and it just lays more nicely if it is blocked, and it fits the head better, and it's just all around more pleasant. But yeah. Here I have 2 finished ones. Look at how cute. Let's look at the inside. Look at that. So basically what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be just doing stranded knitting in the round, but we're going to be making squares. And honestly, that's the easy part. The hardest part is doing the closing up of the hat, and I will go through that with you step by step. We got detailed instructions. It's going to be all good. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So over here, I have my hat started already. This is a basic beanie with a ribbed brim, and I have done 20 rows, and I have done my increase row. So basically, there's a link down below to this tutorial. If you need to know how to do a tutu rib and a cast on and all of that stuff, go to my basic beanie with a ribbed brim tutorial, and it will show you everything that you need to know. But basically we just cast on 60, do a tutu rib for 20 rows, and then you do an increase row where you increase every 5. So I knit 4 and then knit the 5th stitch front and back. And then you get this, which is what we need to get started on our super cute checkered beanie hat. So I'm going to take my contrasting color. I'm going to make one that's nice and purple today because I love purple. It's the best color. It really is. Don't let anybody ever tell you different. Make sure I've got my stitch marker in place. I've started putting my stitch markers at the end of my long tail cast on, or not long tail cast on, but the long tail at the end of my cast on, because that way I can't lose them. It's pro tip right there, guys. All right, so we are going to capture, the first thing we're going to do is capture our second color of yarn by just laying it across our working yarn like that. And now I am going to knit 4 stitches in the main color, which is this dark purple. 4, and then I am going to pick up my second color, and I am going to knit 4 stitches, making sure that I don't pull my yarn too tight, because remember, this is basically stranded knitting making squares, right? So we don't want our tension too tight, or it's going to be impossible to wear the hat. It will make a teeny tiny baby hat. You'll have to give it to a teeny tiny baby. So there I have 4. So I'm going to switch again, making sure my yarn is nice and loose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch yarns. Pull that apart. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're just going to keep going back and forth like this all the way around, and then for 3 more rows, because our squares are 4 stitches by 4 rows, which comes out very nicely because we have 72 stitches after our increase row. Make sure that's nice. I don't know how many that comes out to. I'll have to count. 16? I'm not even sure. It's an even number though, and you want it to be an even number so that it keeps alternating. And that's basically it for the first row. So I'm going to continue around alternating every 4 stitches, and making sure that my floats along the back are nice and loose so that we don't have any tension problems. And I'm going to knit this for a total of 4 rows, and then I will come back and I will show you how to change the color so that the squares are alternating. This is easy peasy, you guys. You can do this. When I say alternating, see how like it goes up, there's white and purple and then white, purple, black, black and white and black and white. That's what I mean by alternating. All right, so I'm going to knit 4 rows total, and I will meet you back here. I thought I was forgetting to tell you something, and I was right. The one thing that's really important when doing this to keep your tension nice and even is when you pull up your loop, make sure that you have both colors on this right hand needle when you're doing it in circular knitting. So like I will pull my loop up here on the other side of the light purple so that I have both light purple and the dark purple on there. And the reason for that is just strictly tension wise, it's gonna make your life a heck of a lot easier if you do it that way. Ooh, not that one. All right, so now that I have told you that, I am going to go finish knitting these 4 rows of our first set of squares. Huzzah! All right, so we have finished the first 4 rows, and now it's time to change colors so that the squares alternate. And how we're going to do that is move our stitch marker over. We're going to take our second color, which is the light purple here, and we're going to take our main color, and since we ended on the light purple, we're going to use the light purple next. But what we want to do to help create kind of a break between these 2 squares is we are going to wrap our main color, this purple, around our second color, the light purple. I like to wrap it around twice. You can wrap it once, you can not wrap it at all, totally up to you. But what that does is it kind of makes it, helps break up these 2 squares, these 2 this light purple row, because really the next 4, it's going to be just the same row basically. But with that dark purple wrapped around it, with our main color wrapped around it, it kind of breaks it up so that when we're all done, it doesn't look like a straight line there. And it will look a little bit like a straight line there, but it helps a little bit. And then you just keep going. So you put make sure tension, always with the tension, right? Make sure that's nice. So now we're gonna knit the dark purple over the light purple and the light purple over the dark purple. And we're gonna knit 4 rows of this, and then we're going to alternate back. Change colors back to the dark purple and the light purple. Once we're done with this row, this section of squares. I told you, this is easy peasy. The hardest part is keeping your tension nice and loose. It really is. That's like the most challenging thing in my opinion. But I believe in you. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. That's how I like to live my life. If I can do it, you can do it. I believe it. There's no reason why you couldn't. We have got this. All right, so I'm going to knit 4 rows of this. And then I'm going to knit, we're going to knit 4 squares total, like 4 squares up total before we start our decreases. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I will meet you back here after we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, and then we'll start our decreases. All right, happy knitting. All right, we have made it to the end of 4 rows of checkerboard, and it is time to start our bind off. Now, before we do this, if you are not planning on blocking your hat, you might want to do another row because it's going to be a little bit tighter than if you block your hat. But if you are ready to start your decreases, let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is change colors again. So I'm going to wrap my light purple around my dark purple. And we are going to do our decreases by first decreasing this square by 2, and then on the second decrease row, we're going to be decreasing the other squares. So we are going to knit 6 and then knit 2 together while staying with our color changes. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. So we're going to knit 4 here on this with the dark purple. 3, 4, and then we are going to knit 2 with our light purple, making sure that that is nice and loose since that's a whole big row of 8 there. Knit 2 and then knit 2 together, just like that. Bloop. Awesome. And we keep going. Knit 6, knit 2 together all the way around while keeping with our color changes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick up our other color. 1, 2, knit 2 together. Awesome. So we're going to do this, knit 6, knit 2 together all the way around. Then we're going to knit 1 row while keeping with our color changes in the pattern. And then I'll be back here for our second row of decreases. Okie doke. So we have finished our first row of decreases, and then I went ahead and I knit another row. And now we're going to do our second row of decreases. And because I want to decrease the squares evenly, we're going to decrease the first square in this row, which means we're going to knit 2 together, and then we're going to knit 5, knit 2 together all the way around until we get back to here where we're just going to knit these last 3. All right, let's do a couple together, huh? So we'll do 1, 2, knit 2 together. Keep with our color changes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knit 2 together. We're going to do that all the way around. Then we're going to knit 1 more row, and then I will join you back here for our next round of decreases. All right, so I finished that row of decreases, and then I knit 1 row, and now we are going to change colors again, and then we are going to knit 4, knit 2 together. Let's go ahead and wrap our yarn. Wrapped those the wrong way, but that's okay. It doesn't really make a difference too much as far as I know. Maybe I'll just make sure that that does make a difference. Yeah, okay. It's fine. So we're going to knit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, knit 2 together. Do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, knit 2 together all the way around, and then we're going to knit 1 row. Okay, so I did my decrease row and then I knit one row, and now we're going to do another decrease row. We're at the point though where we're going to need to make our rabbit ears, so I'm going to go ahead and pull out another loop here. So I've got 2 loops. I'm going to put that here instead, more even. So now we are going to knit 1, knit 2 together, and then we will knit 3, knit 2 together all the way around until we get back to here where we just knit these last 2 stitches. And then we're going to knit 1 row, but we are going to go ahead and change colors because since our squares are smaller width-wise, we're going to want to make them smaller height-wise too. So we're only going to want to do 3 rows on these squares. So when we do our next knit 1 row, which is going to be right after this decrease row, we're going to want to change colors. Let's go ahead and we'll do a couple of these together. We knit 1, knit 2 together. Now we're going to knit 3, 1, 2, staying with our color changes, 3, knit 2 together all the way around. And then we're going to knit 1 row, but we're going to change our colors first. It's going to be so awesome. We're almost done, you guys. We are like a couple rows away from the end. I am very excited. I love this hat. All right, well, I will meet you back here after I have finished this row and 1 more knit row after a color change. Okay, see you in a bit. All right, I finished my decrease row and I knit 1 row, changing the colors. And now we are going to knit 2 together all the way around. We are almost done, you guys. There's like, how many more rows? 3, 4. So we're going to knit 2. And then knit 2 together. All the way around. Then we're going to knit 1 more row, changing our colors again. And then we're going to do the last 2 rows together. So there's what, 4 rows? I think there's 4 rows left. We're almost done. It's so exciting. Cannot even handle it. All right, I will meet you back here after I finish this row and knit another row, changing my colors. Okay, so I finished my row of decreases and then I went ahead and did another row, changing my colors. Now you don't have to change your colors the way I'm doing it if you don't want to. I just really like the way that it looks, so that's why I'm showing you how to do it this way. If you wanted to do the whole top of the hat in one color, you totally could. It would probably match this part a little bit better, but your prerogative, right? It's your creation. Oh, look, I missed one. All right, so now we are going to knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2 together, all the way around. We're going to do these last 2 rows together because we are almost done. So exciting. I always love finishing a hat. So we're going to knit 1, knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2 together. Almost done. Do you guys have a favorite Addams Family character? I don't know why I've always been partial to Cousin It. I love the way he talks in the movies. I will admit, I have not seen the original Addams Family TV show. I've seen a couple of episodes, but I did not grow up with it. I grew up with the shows that were, or the movies that came out in the 90s. Was it the 90s? Gosh, such a long time ago. Feels like it was yesterday. Time is a funny thing, y'all. It is a funny, funny thing. This is so complicated, but it's fun. I love a good complicated thing. Do you like complicated things? Depends on the day, I suppose. I'm gonna knit 2 together. Knit 1, knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2 together, knit 1, and now for our final row we are going to knit 2 together all the way around. We're going to pick a color and we're going to use that one. I'm going to use my light purple here, lavender I suppose, and I'm going to knit 2 together all the way around. And this is going to be our last row. Two together, knit 2 together. Oh my gosh, the end is in sight. Can you believe it? Together, knit 2 together, all the way around, and boom, last one. Congratulations, you have finished your hat. I need to go grab my needles and scissors because I didn't leave them in here like I should have, but I will be right back and we will bind off and do our blocking. Yes, blocking. All right, I will see you in a bit. I'm putting this in here just in case you need to know how to bind off your hat. It is not hard. I'm going to go ahead and cut these 2. And then I'm going to shove the dark purple one inside, out of my way. And I'm going to take this light purple one and I will put it on my needle. And then just pull this around. And you just slip all of your stitches onto your darning needle, like so. And then you just kind of hold it tight. And then you weave in all your ends. I'm going to weave in all my ends, and then I am going to show you how I block my acrylic hat with a steamer. You use a steamer on acrylic. You basically melt your acrylic. But it's important. Here, let me just show you, before I weave in all those ends, the difference between a blocked hat and a non-blocked hat. You see? It's a little bit of a difference there. I recommend blocking. All right, I'm going to weave in my ends and I will meet you back here to block this hat. Okay, things that you will need to block your hat. First, your hat. Second, something to block it on. I'm going to use this styrofoam head that I have. It makes a really nice shape. I wish I had like just a round thing, but this is all I've got, so I'm going to use it. You can also use plates. I've heard of people using plates to do that, to block hats, and you're also going to need some kind of a clothing steamer. You go ahead and turn that on so it gets up to steam. And then I put the hat on the head. And it's really quick. You want to be really quick when you do this, because basically all you're doing is melting your acrylic yarn a little bit with the steam and the heat, and then you're going to want to shape it. So we've got a nice steam going there, and I'm just going to put it through a couple times. All around. Watch your fingers, do not get burned. And then I just kind of shape it. Pull those little parts apart. Make sure you do the top 1 or 2 times so that it lays a little bit flatter. about it. There's not too much to it when you're doing acrylic yarn. You just want to be quick and careful. Quick and careful. Out. I can use a little bit more. Hot, hot. Like I said, don't burn yourself. Don't be like me. Be smarter than I am. Yeah. Ta-da. And that's it. Congratulations. You have finished your beautiful hat. Enjoy. Happy knitting, y'all. Don't forget to like and subscribe.